Bring some dinner. All right, folks, we're going to get started, and I'll try to get you out of here as quickly as we can. For sure, we will be under an hour, probably a lot less than that. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening and giving up your evening. I know everyone's busy, but I want you to know that this is an exciting time at Robinson Junior High because the initiative that we're about to launch is something that's going to be transformational for our district. It's going to be something that's going to be exciting for your kids because it's going to allow them to get a 21st century education and have access to things that they normally would not have access to. Oftentimes on a wish list for education, and we wish we could do these things and we wish we could engage in those activities. But with access to a single device for each kid, there's just going to be so much more that's going to open up for your kids. Our campus has been moving towards this direction for 2 years now. Most of your students have access to a lot of technology already. They use it on a daily basis in different classes. The problem is they don't always have access to it. And there's oftentimes a battle for the computer lab. The concept of the computer lab will be one thing that will eventually go away. Because with each child and each student having access to their own device, and in this case, it's a Chromebook. There may be some of you that have never heard of a Chromebook before. And we'll talk a little bit about what the device is. Mr. Thomas is going to give you some ideas about what that's about. The biggest thing that I want to try to do tonight, and the reason that we're having these parent meetings, rather than putting out a video or just giving you information, is that we want to do a couple of things. One is we want to try to alleviate some fears that you might have. I know probably as a parent, one of the biggest fears that you have is, oh my gosh, my 7th grader, they can't keep up with their socks. How are they going to keep up with the Chromebook? Well, I have confidence that this group of students, and they've been hand selected. I mean, this group was picked out of when we looked at this initiative, where we were going to start it, where it was going to go. This grade level we saw as being the best as far as being prepared with the staff that teaches this group are exceptionally prepared for this initiative. And like I said, it's not something we're just going to jump into and hand a kid a device and say, hey, good luck. Our teachers have prepared for this. They've trained for this. Your students are much more tech savvy oftentimes than you realize. They would amaze you with some of the things that they can do. And with this device in their hands on a daily basis, going from class to class, having the ability to take it home, it's really going to change the way that they learn. And it's going to change the way that they think. And then when they kind of, here in 12th grade, they roll out of here in 5 years, and of course the plan is for this device to follow them all the way through their remaining years here at Robinson ISD. They will never be without and never have to want for access to research, access to the internet, access to the things that make up a 21st century education. To me, that's the most exciting thing about this whole initiative. And yes, it's a little bit scary when you think about it. And for a lot of people, they want to wince away and they want to say, that's not something we want to tackle. One thing we're not scared of is trying new things and taking on new challenges. We're trying to teach our scared of new things and to take on new challenges. And this will be a challenge, and it's going to be one that we're going to conquer and that we're going to win. One thing that we ask you to do as parents is to join us in this effort. This has got to be a joint effort between you and the school district to make this work and to make this prosper. You know, one thing we're going to ask you to do, and Mr. Thomas will talk about it in just a second, is to be that guardian at home when this comes home, and it will every night. And when your student's working on this device and they're out on the internet, which sometimes can be a scary place as well, that you're there right with them and you're there to help police the things that go on and to teach them how to be an internet steward. And those are some of the things we're going to teach them at school as well. We're going to teach them how to handle that responsibility and how to handle those things that come along with that. I've got a couple people that are going to talk to you about the program. First of all, Mr. Thomas is going to come up and talk. Mr. Thomas is our instructional technologist. We are very blessed on the junior high campus to have an instructional technologist. His job every day is to, and he also teaches some classes as well, but the majority of his job is to make sure that the teachers have everything they need and the students have everything they need to be successful integrating technology in the classroom. That's what he does 24/7. His mind works no way with that. And so I'm extremely happy to have him because he is a tech-savvy guy. And he is also going to be a great resource for you as a parent. All right? Remember that name, Mr. Thomas, because if you have a question and you don't know something about Schoology, or you don't know something about Parent Portal or Skyward, and you need to know something about grades or about this initiative, he's the guy to call because he can answer those questions. And if he can't find the answer, or if he doesn't know the answer, he will find it. And so he will be a great friend to you as you partner with us in making this be successful. All right? Mr. Thomas.
Yes, my name is Will Thomas, and I am a graduate of Robinson myself, class of 2000. So this here, to see us move in this direction is something that, just tons of pride in me right now, being able to give back to my school and to the students and to our teachers. Because once again, we're here for your kids. Because I got out and I went and did something with my life because of the teachers that I had here at Robinson, and that's what we want to do for your students as well. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Chromebook. Okay, with the Chromebook that your student will get. Okay, this is going to open up tons and tons of just opportunities for them on a daily basis. So now you're wondering why the Chromebook for the student. Okay, why does each student need a Chromebook? A Chromebook is a device. Okay, it's also a tool. Last night I talked about how we use different tools throughout our lives to accomplish things, like say driving, like writing a letter. We have the pencil, we have paper. Digging a hole. You got to have that tool. Without that shovel, that hole's not going to get dug. You can dig it with your hands, it's going to take you a lot longer to get there. Whereas with the Chromebook, okay, like that tool, it provides that 24/7 access to the network, to your teacher, all day, every day. Okay, when that child leaves the classroom, those four walls, they disappear. And that's what we want. We want that child to be able to be creative, anytime that they want, anytime that they need. This will allow our children to be able to connect to things other than stuff in Robinson and stuff in Waco. Okay, we can go ahead and they can connect to a zoo in California. They can connect to things that are not in this world. They can connect with the NASA space station up there. All right, these are things that we can do. We do classroom field trips, and teachers can assign also, to be able to watch an author at night using your Chromebook. And this gives them that technology that they will need to help propel them as well when they graduate from here, from Robinson. Because we're looking at the big picture. Okay, we don't look at a day-to-day picture. Your child comes in, hey, welcome, good luck today. Okay, we're always talking about good luck in the future as well. This is what's going to prepare them. As you know, this is just going to be for the 7th grade. Okay, so be extremely happy about that. We gave a lot of thought to this about which group we want to start with, and so this is big. We see a lot of potential in each and every students or your children, and then also in the parents as well. Okay, but like David said, or Mr. Brzezinski, we can't do this without you. So I'm going to give you a little introduction to what a Chromebook is.
This is a laptop. This is a computer. This has the web. That's weird. Okay, so it's the web. first. So there's nothing to start up. Then how do I do stuff? There's no messy desktop. So no rolling hills of green. Can I use it anywhere? On a unicycle? My calendars, emails, documents. Everything can be saved to the web. That's crazy. So I can throw this thing into a river, and I won't lose my stuff. It doesn't need virus protection. What about annoying updates? Or patches? Or patches full of patches? So it gets better in real time. I wonder if people are ready for this. It's kind of a new thought.
All right, so just like it said, Chromebook is not your traditional laptop. Chromebooks, as you know, now come in many different sizes. Many different companies make them now. Samsung started it out. Every Chromebook that your child, or every Chromebook that we're handing out to your child, is a touchscreen Chromebook as well. They can pinch to zoom and different things like that. We're going to be teaching them responsibility about that. And so also each Chromebook comes with two USB ports, a USB 3.0 and USB 2.0. Also comes with a SD card reader, so you can put SD card to expand the storage. It also has 16 gigs of storage as well. And as it said, yes, I know there's a misconception out there that the Chromebook can only be used on the internet and on Wi-Fi. Okay, Chromebooks, you can use them offline. Okay, there are different apps as well. In a minute, with the Google Apps, you can use Google Docs and create spreadsheets, and just like you would a traditional Word document, you can create those things offline. You can edit pictures and different stuff like that offline. Then as soon as you get to school or get to an area where there's Wi-Fi, everything syncs back up, and everything's in the cloud. So that's what keeps everything safe. That's what keeps it available for that student no matter what computer they go to. Okay, that's why they can collaborate with that teacher and with other peers, because the Chromebook is able to sync with the cloud. Okay, so we've heard of different types of clouds out there, iCloud and Dropbox, those types of things. That's once again just like a big USB in the cloud. That's what that is. One thing, the big thing with this, as Mr. Brzezinski pointed out, this Chromebook will follow your child into high school. Unlike most computers that you buy nowadays, down the road, from all the apps that you put on there, all the software you put on there, they tend to get bogged down. You install things that start up when you start your computer up, and you wonder where all these windows are coming from, and just like it's slowing down. Okay, that's for me opening the lid, Chromebook is on. Now, how this benefits the students, we only have 45 to 50 minutes with your child in class every single day. If we're waiting 10 minutes for a computer to start up, okay, we've already lost valuable class time. And your child's not sitting there calm waiting for that computer to start up. No. If that was the case, we wouldn't be doing Chromebooks probably. But that is the case that we want to get started when that bell rings. And as your student come in, no time wasted, they're already on, bell ringers, everything ready to go. They close that Chromebook, go to the next class, instant on, open it back up. And that's what this device will allow for your student each and every day. All right, so some of the apps, because we are a Google App for Education school, or district actually. And one of the couple of apps that we use are Google Drive, Google Sites and Calendars, and Books and YouTube. These apps are available for free, okay, through Google. And there's a ton more different apps that we use as well, but these are the ones that come with the education, Google Apps for Education. Each one of these apps allows us to collaborate with, with your student, and the student collaborate with their peers as well, inside and outside the classroom. Projects no longer have to be done all at school. Presentations, you got 4 people working on a presentation, it takes you 5 minutes, to get that done. You don't have to schedule, for someone to do a presentation. So now that allows me to elaborate on those different types of presentations throughout the year and throughout the week. One of the big apps that we use is Google Drive. So Google Drive is basically, like I said, it's a big USB in the cloud. And with Google Drive, you're able to create Google Docs, which is their word processor, just like Microsoft Word, Google Sheets, which is just like Excel, Google Slides, which is PowerPoint, Google Forms, which Microsoft doesn't have, and Google Draw, which is kind of like Paint. Google Docs, all of these apps that I just named, they are available offline. So once again, your child can be at home, work on them. If you don't have the internet, if the internet goes down and they're working, don't freak out because the stuff is safe. It's there and will upload again once they connect to the internet. Google Docs and all these different things also, once again, allow a teacher to, if you say your child is sick or if they're in another classroom, they're able to work on things and collaborate and communicate through that document at the exact same time. Another student can work on a document at the exact same time as their peer. Teachers can comment, do voice comments on their student's document. Normally when a student is working, especially in an English classroom, and they think they're done with their paper, they hand it in, and the teacher goes home and they grade it, and they come back a day later, and that's over. As that child is working on that paper, the teacher can give comments right then and there while they're on their Chromebook. Okay, when they think they're done, I'm sorry, you're not done. You're getting close, but have you thought about this? And this is all in the voice comments, in the chats. They can make comments right from their computer, right from their Chromebook, or their iPad as they're moving around the room. So once again, this is very beneficial with every child having this Chromebook in the classroom. So I talked a little bit about how the student's going to use them. With researching, okay, doing projects, being able to look up things online and creating different things. That's the thing. We really want our children to be more creative. Okay, we want to see what they can do. We're going to step into that facilitator role as teachers now to help your child become more in charge of their learning. All right, because there's not always going to be that person right there hovering over them, telling them exactly what to do. We want our children to be problem solvers. That way, when they get out of school, into the world, they know how to, if they make a mistake, they know how to fix it. They know how to conquer things. Collaborating, technology as a work tool, and then of course with the Chromebook, it's everywhere, anytime. Okay, there's no more excuses, especially with Schoology. I know y'all are very familiar with that. I've talked with a lot of you about Schoology and how Schoology works. This will enhance that because it's more than just here's some information. This is what we're doing in our classroom. Teachers are able to now run their classroom through Schoology a lot smoother and provide more resources on there for you as a parent. Okay, so be looking for that because I promise you, you're going to be amazed at some of the things that you can see now with your students. A couple of things to think about and talk about with your student while they're here on campus. Okay, we have a good filter that filters everything that they do. Okay, they have to sign into our internet to be able to go to use our the websites and go different things like that. But when they're at home, okay, as a parent, let's make sure that we are doing our best to keep them safe online. There are lots of predators out there and different things. So some of the tips here is Google Safe Search, which allows or doesn't allow your child to bring up explicit things online. These are, your Chromebooks will come with that enabled by default. Okay, they can't turn that off. Now it's not 100%. Okay, all right. Now you can be the 100% or that other 5% of the 95. So then also you want to monitor your kids on the web. I know they don't want to hear this, but they can, friend, maybe follow your children on their social media stuff. You want to see what's going on Facebook, Instagram. Maybe take a couple of selfies with them. Want to keep the computers in an open location, whether it be at the table and if they are in their room, make sure doors open because these are very powerful machines. Okay, once again, you're connecting them with the world every day. And then last but not least, discussing how permanent a digital footprint can be left on the web. As you know, with cell phones nowadays and different pictures and different ways to do those things, the stuff doesn't go away. It's on there. It's on there. Recruiters nowadays are, for not only colleges but for jobs, they're looking at your Facebook. They're looking at your Tumblr. They're looking at your Instagram. They're looking at Twitter to see what you have put on there. They can find those things, and that can hurt you in the long run, down the road, what you did in 8th grade or 9th grade or whatever. Okay, so let's make sure that we are educating them, and we're going to do that too. We're going to educate them as well. We already have a digital citizenship program that we're doing, and we're going to continue with that. All right, caring for the Chromebooks. Make sure that they come fully charged. Okay, it's really simple, just like you do your phone at home. Plug it in at nighttime. All right. Battery life on the Chromebook is 8 hours continuously. That's just 8 hours on continuous use. I've been known to get about 2.5 days out of it. Okay, tell me a laptop that does that, unless it has 2 batteries. Okay. No food or drinks around the Chromebook. Let's say just don't even attempt to have that happen. Don't even let that happen around any actual device. Keep your Chromebook in a case or backpack when not in use. Make sure that the hands are clean because these are touchscreen. All right, and last thing you want to do is get something on there that will either get inside the keys or get something on the screen that you're having a hard time getting off. Don't set things on top of it. Once again, they are laptop type machines, and you can hurt the screen by doing that. Don't set any heavy things on top of it. A couple of more. We're going to make sure that we carry the Chromebook with the lid. Do not carry the Chromebook with the lid open. Always, keep your unused Chromebook somewhere safe. All right, and use the Chromebook on a level surface because you don't want it to fall off and break and crack. And then we'll talk to you more about that here in a minute about how we will manage all that and take care of all the damages and stuff. Couple must-haves. So in order for your child to get a Chromebook for the year, earbuds. We want the earbuds, but the reason why we don't want the Beats, I know they're very popular out there. If you just must buy them, I like Beats. They're pretty cool. Good bass. I DJ the dances. For those who see me up here. The reason why we want the earbuds is so that way the students can still hear the teachers when they're talking in the classroom. All right. With the big headphones that go over the ears, it really muffles the sound and cancels out all that. We want to make sure that they're still aware and they're still a part of the classroom. Carrying cases or backpacks. They're going to be required to carry it when they're traveling around, whether it be from lunch to or even a different class or to football or wherever, getting on the bus. They're going to be required to carry that. Then, of course, locks for the lockers. Every 7th grader will need a lock for their locker. Make sure that you get one for them to lock up their Chromebook when it's not in use, when they go to band or football or something like that. And then, last but not least, a signed copy of the policy. Without that copy of the policy, we will not be handing or issuing a Chromebook to your child. A couple of suggested items: a flash drive and an SD card. These are some things that you can get if you want. Once again, they have 16 gigs of storage, which is a lot. Okay, I carry a flash drive on me all the time. This is 16 gigs right here. I have yet to fill it up. It's a Chromebook. Also, one little quick tidbit: all the Google Docs that I talked about, or Google Apps that I talked about a while ago, they do not count against the student's storage. So when they create a Google Sheet or a Google whatever, Everybody gets 30 gigs of storage right off the bat in the cloud, so it doesn't count against that. Here are Google logins. So it's going to be their first name dot last name at stu.rsdweb.org, okay, and then the ID number and 3 initials for their password. This login is the exact same for Schoology as well. All right, and that is all I have for you tonight. And I thank you, and I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Rosinski. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that's it.
Mr. Thomas kind of gave you a breakdown a little bit of some of the things that we do with the Chromebooks. And as a partner in this endeavor, one of the things you probably will want to learn to do, a lot of you might be Microsoft people and you work with Word and all that, you may want to get familiar with Google Docs and with Google Apps, because having the ability to be able to do that, when your child comes home and they open up their Chromebook and you can say, what did you do today? You can pull up their English folder and you can look in there and see, this is the paper I wrote today. You actually have the ability to be able to, at work, you can get Google on your computer. You can get Google Docs. You don't have to have a Chromebook. The Chromebook is designed specifically to access it, but you can get it from any device. You can get it from your phone. You can have the ability at work. If you were on vacation and your student was here, you could log into their account and look at what they're working on at school that day. And so that's a cool thing for you. You know, when you get home and you ask them, what'd you do at school today? And they have those backpacks full of all those papers crammed into the bottom. Now that's crammed into a Chromebook, and you have access to it, and it won't ever go away. The things that they create and they build in 7th grade will be in Google till they graduate. And they'll have that there to be able to see the things that they've worked on, to be able to build a portfolio eventually when they get ready to go to college. And that's another cool thing about the Chromebook. All right, now one of the most important things is the user agreement. You guys all hopefully picked up a user agreement when you walked in. I'm going to have Mr. Fuqua. Brian Fuqua is our technology director here at Robinson ISD. He's worked extremely hard helping me put this together. We've worked together along with a big committee of people to put this initiative together. And we've gone through and we've looked at a lot of other schools. We've done a lot of research on what other people are doing. The device that we chose came from a long list of things that we looked at. We didn't just pick the first thing we saw and saw that's the coolest thing, that's what we're going to go with. We've got several types of devices on campus now. We've got laptops, we've got iPads, and then we've got some Chromebooks. The Chromebook has the ability to do a whole lot of different things, and that's part of the reason that we chose it. I'm going to let him run through the user agreement real quick, and then I'll come back and answer some questions at the end.
Thank you all for coming tonight. I'm not going to go over everything word for word. I just want to point out some of the things that we want to make sure that you see and are aware of. The very first part is very important. The Chromebooks, they are intended to be an instructional device. They're not just for searching on the internet, playing games, stuff like that. They are for instructional purposes. And we want to make sure that you realize that everything that's done on those is the sole use of the student, and so whatever happens with it, your child is responsible for. So if they hand it off to another student, it's still their username, it's their device that other child is using. So your child will be held responsible for whatever happens with that. Caring for your device, Willie's pointed out several things on that. When students are not using the device, if they're at athletics or they know they're not going to use it that period, they need to be locked up in the locker. So that's why we want to make sure that there is a lock for the child's locker. Everyone has a locker, and so if this device will not be used that period, or if they're going to be athletics or lunch and they don't want to take it at lunch, it needs to be locked up. That's just to keep it safe, make sure it doesn't get stolen or damaged. When they come to school, I think Willie's already covered this, but we want to make sure that they are fully charged, that they'll last all day. When they're not being used, when they go to sleep, then it doesn't use as much battery. So the Chromebook will last all day. Mine usually lasts a couple of days, and I'm on it constantly. Just whenever I'm done using it, I close it, and it puts it to sleep. So it's not using as much battery power. If there is an issue with the Chromebook, what the policy is the student will take it to the library, and Ms. Kinney will notify us of what the issue is. We do have a few extra Chromebooks, so we can hand that to the students so that they are not without that day, or however the Chromebook prepared. If it's something simple, we'll get it back to them as quickly as possible. If we have to turn it in, there's a repair depot in Temple, I found out, and so we can take it to Temple, they get it repaired, and they'll get it back to us pretty quick. Protecting them while they're in the bag. If you've already got a backpack, there's neoprene sleeves and stuff that you can put them in to protect them, or you can get them an actual laptop backpack that has a protective compartment. But if you don't want to buy one, they have the neoprene sleeves that are pretty inexpensive that you can get to slide that in so they're not getting beat up by everything else that's in the backpack. Unsupervised Chromebooks, if your students find one, they need to turn that in. If we find one, we'll figure out who it is. They'll all be identified, so we'll know pretty quick who it belongs to. We can return it, and we can figure out why the Chromebook is not with the student. When they're in class, the teacher may let the student know that they're not used that day if they're having a test or something like that, and they don't want the Chromebook to be in the classroom. The teacher will let them know. I think Mr. Rosinski and Mr. Thomas have set up something with the teachers so the students will know ahead of time or know when they walk into class that the Chromebook should not be out that day. If the teachers tell them not to bring it, then that's when they need to be locked up in the locker. The end of the year process, we will have every student turn in the Chromebooks so we can go through, we can evaluate them, assess them. If there's any damage to it, we can get it repaired. And then when they come back the following year, they will get the exact same Chromebook that they turned in. They're not going to get another student's Chromebook. So that is really their Chromebook as they progress through the rest of junior high and high school. So you really want to make sure you're taking care of it because it is yours. The Chromebook that we chose is one of the more durable Chromebooks. There's some that feel a little more flimsy, but the one we chose should last as long as the students take care of it. It should last them through the rest of school. The one piece that can be an issue is if you drop it on where you charge it. The pin is very thin, so it can get bent. So just be careful with how you do that. We put in here not to put the Chromebook in your bag or anything like that while it's being charged, because if it falls or anything, it can get bent pretty easy. So just be careful with those when they're plugged in and charging. Make sure it's on a level surface where it can't fall. If for some reason you leave Robinson ISD, we want you to turn the Chromebook and the charger into one of the principals, either Mr. Rosinski or Ms. Hujay, and they'll take it up and they'll bring it back to us, and we will lock those up and secure them for whenever we have to turn them over to another student. Damage or theft. We've looked at a lot of different policies on this, and they range from first time something happens, you have to pay for it 100%, to you can buy insurance or the school provide insurance or something like that. So what we chose to do is the first ever a theft or damage or it gets lost, the district will pay for that replacement fee or pay to have it repaired. There is a warranty with them, so if something breaks on it, other than cracking a screen or something like that, if it's faulty equipment, the warranty will repair it. But if it's something else that we have to pay for, the district will pay for it. The second time, we'll split it. We'll pay half, and we'll require you to pay half to get the device back. The third time, we will not pay anything. If you want the child to continue to have a device, you can go out and purchase those. The cost of the Chromebook that we have is $308. So compared to the rest of the devices, it is actually a cheap device, but it does so much for our students, and so it's a very good investment for us. The operating system updates automatically, so it's not like your iPad. You don't have to go and download the update and manually do all that. It will actually do it for you. you'll see a little message at the bottom that says restart to finish the update, and that's all you have to do. You'll open your Chromebook, and there may be more options. Something may change, it'll look a little different, but Google does all of that for you behind the scenes. So you don't have to worry about, is your Chromebook up to date, or is it different than somebody else's? It will just be done for you. So the management on these is just seamless and simple. Another reason that we chose the Chromebook over some of the others is managing them. Google has provided a management piece for education, so we can keep track of them. We can push out some of the apps. We can change the policy, what they can and can't do on them. And everything just flows very well. We can manage it from anywhere we're at. We don't have to be in one location. If a student forgets their password or somehow gets themselves locked out, we can quickly reset it, and they can be on their way. We don't have to say, well, hold on, wait till we get back to our office or anything like that. We can do it on the fly from where we're at. The filter, the internet filter, we have a very good filter. It drives the kids crazy because it blocks what we intend it to block, which is a good thing. We are also have an open policy on anything that's educational. We have some stuff that's unblocked that a lot of districts say you have no access to, we'll never give you access to it. But if a teacher comes to us that there's an educational value to a site, we will look at it and discuss it with them, and we'll open that site. We're working on a way to have the filter applied when they're at home. So that's one less thing that you're having to worry about. We're working on the final details of that. We're not sure exactly when it'll be finalized, but we're looking at it, we're testing it to make sure it's going to work for you. We want to make this as easy on you at home as it is up here. If we can take some of the burden off of you, that's what we want to do. And that's one reason we have the damage and theft policy. We want it to free you up, and so you don't feel burdened by it. Each one of these devices will be labeled. So we're different about how they're labeling them. It's from a lot of people are just doing asset tags, which is basically just a sticker that anybody can peel off, and if they try to pawn it, they have no idea where it came from. What we chose to do is we bought a laser engraver, so it'll actually have our district logo, the district name, and contact information engraved in it. So if somebody steals your device and try to pawn it, they can call us and we can go get it back. So we can actually track it and get it returned. Some of the districts that are doing the same thing, it has worked out for them. They've had many devices returned back to them. And I think that's all I have for the policy. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask when David has the question and answer time.
Before I kind of open it up for questions here real quick, one thing I want to kind of impress upon our students is that this is a powerful program. And with great power comes great responsibility. And we are putting this on your shoulders, that you're going to have access to some incredible things and to be able to experience a different type of education as a result of this. But it takes some responsibility. You're going to have to learn some habits. You're going to have to learn that habit of going home every night, and when you're done with it, putting it up on a good level service and charging it, and when you get up in the morning, packing it away and take care of it each day. We will harp on that constantly at school, as we hope you do as parents, because we believe that this is so powerful of an advantage for your kids. And for this group now, when this is something that has exploded through our district, and we are pioneers in something. And as the principal of this school, I often look around at the surroundings sometimes, you know, and I often call our school shabby chic, because we've been here a while. But the things that are going on within our school are innovative and they're revolutionary. They're things that are going to cause your children to have a foot up above other kids in other educational settings. And so we're proud to be able to bring this to you. When I finish with my presentation, I hope you walk by. We've got 5 or 6 of the Chromebooks on a table over here if you want to go by and look at those. At this time, I'll entertain a few questions. If you have a question that kind of pertains to the group, I'll entertain those questions. And then if you've got something individual at the end of that, come up and talk to us. We'll stay here as long as you want to talk to us. If you want to go ahead and sign your user agreement tonight, You can sign it. You can give it to Ms. Hujay on the way out the door. Other than that, if you've got some, anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer them real quick.
All right, just come up and ask those individually. That'd be great. Have a great evening.